Hi, this is Oppong-Sarfo of the New African Concept. This is Ghana Matters, a monthly review of major highlights in Ghana. For the month of May, the major highlights happened to be the by-elections that was in Kumawu. And it garnered a lot of attention from the media space and in various elements concerning the by-elections. We all know that unfortunately the incumbent MP passed on, and that by constitution warranted the by-elections. And we saw the videos, and we also heard several stories of how the MPP, the NDC, they were all pushing their parochial interests. Why parochial? Parochial exactly because each, most especially of MPP, as a ruling government, we all know how that they forced trying to do some roads and then all other stuffs, how they were dishing out 2 or 3 cups of rice, gari, beans. It was just terrible. For you to think that still in the 21st century, we can be given to this kind of politics is somewhat very much appalling. And this is what we would like to make or give a few points on. Now, many people seem to be shocked when they saw these stuffs, and it is not, very different from the upcoming one that will be in Asin North on the 27th of June. We've already seen how that the MPP government has also started a number of activities or a number of projects in order to win those or that by-election. What we are saying is that the various happenstance just confirms what the quarters of the New African Concept we've been repeating over and over again, that nations are not successful merely because of their geographical locations nor their natural resource allocation, but rather nations are successful based on the quality of their value systems. And we keep on seeing this phenomenon over and over again. Now, there are 3 major highlights that I would like to point on, that we as a nation, if we would want to progress or advance, then we must be giving to these 3 elements, especially concerning matters of elections. Our politicians have taken us for a ride for a long time. And until we arise and then lay in corrective measures, things will continue this way. Freedom is not given freely or voluntarily by the oppressor. Freedom ought to be demanded by the oppressed. It is not the politicians that are going to grant us freedom. It is the citizenry that must arise to claim freedom. I am not talking of a bloody coup or revolution, obviously not. But I am talking of the fact that citizens, we must wake up in our minds and then in our spirits. Citizenship failure always precedes leadership failure, given a democratic context like Ghana. When the politicians have finished messing up the country, and then the constitution, the law, and then the citizenry, we must go after them. They have always found a safe haven, a shelter that they have been sheltering themselves all this while. One of the shelters that they use is the shelter of religion. For Ghana, it is not very present, but for Nigeria and then other African countries, the shelter of religion is very present. For Ghana, it has not gotten to that level so much. But religious tensions or religious sentiments, people vote merely because he is a Muslim. People vote merely because he is a Christian. When we are voting, it should not merely be about the religious affiliation of the candidate. So when you go to Nigeria, for instance, because of the religious tensions, there are many people who vote not considering competence, not considering anything, track record, not considering character and integrity and the capacity of the candidate to deliver, but rather they vote merely because I am a Muslim and then the candidate is a Muslim, or I am a Christian and then the candidate is a Christian. How can we build a nation when we are voting merely and purely on religious sentiments? This has given the politicians a safe haven, a fortress that after they mess up the country, they have the ebullience and the temerity to come up again that you must vote for me by striking the cause of religion and telling them that I'm a Christian, I am your fellow Christian, so just vote for me. I'm your fellow Muslim, so just vote for me. I am looking out for a new crop of citizens, particularly the youth, who will not be voting merely along religious sentiments, but rather will be able to say that, what is your track record? What is the nature of your integrity? What is your plan? What is your vision? Has it been well thought through? Is it data-based? Oh, how I long that citizens will arise like this. And I can tell you that the politicians will shake in their boots when we are demanding of them their vision. When we are demanding of them what research is backing this vision that they are proposing, when we are demanding of them the potential challenges and then the anticipated challenges, the hurdles, and then what they intend to do. If the citizens wake up this way, many politicians will resign overnight. Many politicians will resign overnight because they don't have the capacity to withstand a thinking and a reasoning citizenry. Intellectualism will grant a mortal threat to the kind of politics that we are doing. Apart from religion, the other sentiment or the other fortress that our politicians love to find solace is the fortress of tribalism. And this fortress is so strong in our system. It's very much unfortunate. But Ghana is not yet a nation. Ghana is a country, but not a nation. You may be confused. But what I mean is, when we say a nation, one people, one vision. Anytime you make mention of a nation, then we are talking of collectivism along the lines of one nation, one people, one vision. Can that be said of us as a country or as a nation? Obviously not. Ghana, as you know, historically came together by bringing 4 territories. The British colony, which was Ghana or Greater Accra, and then the Fantis, and then the coastal area. The British colony was one segment. Later on, they conquered the Asantes, and then the Asante Confederacy was another segment. Then the Voltarians, our brothers, they also formed, that is the British Togoland, and then the Northern Territory. So Ghana came together by the time of independence as a result of a coalition of 3 or 4 major territories. The British colony, the British, Togoland, the Ashanti Confederacy, and then the Northern Territory. And then we formed a country called Ghana. Till date, 66 years down the line, we are not yet a nation because we are not one people. We are not having one vision. We are separated along the sentiments of tribalism. And the whip of tribalism has given the politicians a safe haven. So after they have messed up everything, like we are seeing in full glare, the wanton dissipation of state funds, and then the posture, the arrogated posture, the arrogance of power. How on earth, after all these things, that they have the all-medicated God to be telling the citizens that we should vote for them again? And there is no shame associated with what they are doing. What gives them that confidence is the fact that at the end of the day, they are going to crack the tribal whip. You remember some of the videos of one lady who was saying that we know that MPP is not working. That is, I'm talking of the by-elections which happened on 23rd of May in Kumawu. When this lady was interviewed, she admitted that MPP, her party, is not working. But still, because Oye Asantini Ntino, Okachiro Nyakro said, "Na akani ti semi. How do you expect me to vote for NDC?" Enti wajia tumu say MPP eye ne party no, they are not working to her satisfaction. Now, so being an Asante or being an Akano, she is not having that confidence to vote for what? To vote for NDC. So she will go ahead and vote for MPP because she is an Ashanti or an Asante, though she also admits that they are not working. This is serious. This is serious. This is what has given the politicians the confidence, because Onim say or say or minus said they a drew election or back voter regional or because the moon to my because ye NDC for or back a can and answer Asantia or because the moon to my because ye MPP for. Until date, you will have people woma oma semeya miya the supposed intellectuals what school. Sebio, we can pardon our mothers and then grandmothers who may not be having some levels of enlightenment, but it hurts to see people who are graduates and call themselves masters, holders, PhD holders, still thinking and then voting along tribal lines. So the politicians will keep on messing the country, because after they have messed up the country, they have a safety haven. They have an umbrella to shield them from the rains of what? Of the constitutional demands. And what is that umbrella? The first umbrella is the umbrella of religious sentiments. The second umbrella is the umbrella of tribal sentiments. As long as we vote along tribal lines, then politicians will keep on messing up the country, and we cannot afford that luxury. The final thing that I'll touch on is the partisan element, the partisan shelter. MPP, NDC, me MPP ni enwano, me NDC ni enwano, and people are voting along partisan lines. What makes a thinking person is your ability to pull the data onto the table and then draw logical conclusions. We are looking forward, especially for a new crop of youth that will be able to say that there is nothing wrong with association. We have freedom of association, whether of religion or political party. There is nothing wrong for me to say that me MPP ni and I say me NDC ni. Now so me sure said the MPP AC aye or minor, they need to be voted out. This is what makes a citizen. There is nothing wrong to give off your affiliation. For you to join MPP or NDC or PNC or whatever political party, there is nothing wrong. We have the freedom of association. But what is wrong is when we blatantly say that I am an MPP. So I take a posture of being a sycophant and then defending everything that the government is doing, regardless of whether it is right or wrong. And then I am an NDC, so I am also going to oppose whatever the government is doing, whether it is right or wrong. We cannot build a nation this way. The new Ghana that will be rising will be birthing citizens, and particularly the youth, who will be giving to this, that I am an MPP, I am an NDC. But I can say that what the government is doing for this, it is, wrong, and it is not right. What are we saying? In conclusion, this is what we are saying. That until we re-engineer or we rebuild the ethical foundations of Ghana, a change will be far-fetched. Now we have had the by-elections in Kumawu. On 27 June, there will be another one in Asin North, and it is the usual games. Fellow Ghanaians, as our president normally says, it is time for us to re-engineer our way of thinking. Let us break the shelter of religious sentiments, tribal sentiments, and then of course partisan sentiments. And I can assure you, we can compel the leaders to do the right thing. This has been another edition of Ghana Matters, and we are hoping to see you for the June edition. Thank you.